Hello, my dear Aquarius. This is your love and spirituality reading for the time between December 16 to December 31st, 2016, with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So, I will start shuffling your cards. December 21, we will have the midwinter solstice. This is the longest night of the year in the northern hemisphere, since the South Pole will be tilted towards the sun, which have reached its southernmost position in the sky and will be over the Tropic of Capricorn. December 21 till 22, we will also have the Earth's meteor shower. And December 29, we will have the new moon in daytime, kind of marking the new year. So, Aquarius. I call the divine with love and light, and I call the four archangels in the four corners of the world, and I call the six elements, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Aquarius viewers. So, I want my dear Aquarius to have love in their life, and I want them to find themselves having creative success and walking towards their highest path, towards their highest destiny. I want you to be able to fulfill the reason to why you are on earth at this time. Okay, so there. I will just tune in a few seconds. Okay. So, Aquarius, this is your future, and this is your now, and this is the past. The now is probably the last half of December 2016. But whenever you watch this is probably the exact right time to see it. So, okay. First card for you, Aquarius, is Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords it's a card about, it's a seven. Seven is always giving room for spiritual growth. It's when you are kind of going in a process. It's a long process. I'll take it from the beginning. One, it's 1 point. It might be you have a dream. Two, it's 2 points marking a line. That's 2 dimensions. So it's kind of a timeline or stretch. And then we have 3, that's Trinity. It's marking a 3rd dimension. And that's when you have kind of manifested something or you're working on something together with the divine. Number 4, it's very stable. Stability, it's comfort zone. You have reached to a point and you think you are kind of done, but you're not. You have just built a foundation for yourself. 5, it's when you kind of see that things are out of order, there's no harmony. Number 6 is when you have created that harmony again. And number 7, it's when you are like kind of noticing that all those things you have been working for, still there's the same problem that were from the beginning. And with Seven of Swords, it's a problem with thinking. And usually it's a problem with kind of losing hope, kind of thinking that it's no idea, I'm too old, this have happened to me too many times, there's no change with this. It's also a lack of responsibility. Sometimes this is a person kind of not wanting to take responsibility, just wants to skate on the surface of things because it's too hard, it's too much resistance, and it's kind of this feeling when you have given up a little bit, when you don't want to continue because it's too big a task, or you just want to have peace and quiet, you don't want to move on with this. So the Seven of Swords, if you meet this person on the outside, you will notice immediately that they don't want to talk about things in depth. They don't want you to touch their deep traumatic spots. They don't want to be caught with that. They want to skate on the surface because they have things hidden. It's kind of a lie. But it's a lie that they do both to themselves and to others because they don't want to look at this. They don't want to solve this. It's too hard. It's too much. They don't want to do it. So this one is taking 5 swords, leaving 2. So it's kind of taking also sometimes taking the bits and pieces. Sometimes this is a very good thing. When you learn a new skill, you take the bits and pieces that's kind of matching to you. But there might be a relapse when you come back and see that the 2 swords that's left, they also had something to tell you. So the 7 of Swords is kind of there. It is depths here that need to be excavated, and you are avoiding it. So there are fears here that you're kind of avoiding, things that you don't want to see, things yet that needs to be taught, need to be learned, and it's also kind of it's this positivism. It's very good to be positive. I always try to see the bright side of things, but when you kind of have you have a really bad situation and you still don't want to recognize it, and when you don't want to recognize it, you can't do anything about it. You just play pretend that it's a nice situation when actually you are kind of dying in this, or you kind of going on your knees or fighting your way forward by grabbing in things in the ground like this. And you don't want to see it. You just say, well, everything is okay. It's fine. Everything is fine. But it's not really. You are kind of using all your energy to keep yourself standing. So this is the time to admit that there's a problem and to start seeing things clearly, because 7 and Swords is about spiritual growth need to be done in the area of thinking. That you this person try to see he's very happy. He's very happy. He has this a little bit smug smile on his face, but he's not truly genuinely happy. He's kind of I'm so smart. I have calculated this. I have analyzed this. I have it under control, and it's going a lot of energy to keep this under control and to analyze everything and to try to put it in its right context. When really what this person should do is kind of just sit down and relax and try to see the truth of the situation, instead of having like it's like a grasp, like having control over something by keeping something very leveled. Trying to see the bright side of things, trying to not care, trying to not look too far in the future, try to not have dreams, trying to avoid things so you won't notice how sad you are, or how miserable your situation is, or how much there still is for you to learn. So 7 of Swords is a card that has a lot of potential, because it's just one little thing that needs to be adjusted, and that's your vision. You need to start seeing things more clearly. Next step is 8. 8 is when you are trying to work to restore the harmony of the number 6, and it's like an eternity symbol. It's a pattern. It's a karmic thing. And with the 8 of Swords, it's kind of worse than the 7 of Swords, because then you have kind of given up. But it's also a good thing with 8 of Swords, because when you give up, you might also stop thinking that it's no idea, you can't solve this with your mind. And eventually, with the 9 and the 10 of Swords, there's you run so hard into the brick wall that you need to change. So the 7 of Swords is just kind of what's coming. There's a lot of work that's going to come that you need to do, and you try to avoid it. This is in the past, so we'll see where it goes with this. Sometimes you have this person in your life, they will be might be a bit narcissistic, that they kind of see only themselves and their problem and wants to fix things so it's good for themselves. But this is just because they can't go deep, because it hurts too much. So you need to have a bit of understanding of this, that they are not maybe evil true and true, but they might be too traumatized to be able to look at the truth, both of themselves and their situation, and of you. Okay, so the next card for you is 10 of Cups. So that's a beautiful card. It's a beautiful card with dreams, being in a happy relationship. I feel that this card have come from many people in this position, and I think November has been a time October, November has been a time of happiness in many relationship or reconciliation, that love has come back into your life, and that's a beautiful thing. It's like getting another chance with this, and it's dreams as well. You have dreams, so even when you fear and you think that there's no idea, there's no point, this card is telling you that there is a point, and you are going to reach from this point to this point. Like there's a bridge to be walked on, but you need to be brave enough to do the work to come to this point, because if you avoid the scary things, you won't have the happy things either. This is a beautiful situation. It might be a family gathering, it might be person coming back, or you falling in love. It might also be like having found your kind of creative success, like a thing that you feel comes natural for you, that would be very easy for you to do. But in the same time, you have this feeling of not being good enough. So that might cause a little problem with you to accept this beautiful thing that's coming in your life, because you think that sometimes it's like we can't embrace the beautiful things, because we know that when we have something in our life that means a lot to us, we are going to be fearful to lose this. And the fear is going to, of course, put a lot of trouble in our way, and maybe actually make us lose the thing. This is common with human beings. We are afraid of happiness, because happiness is making us know the things that we want in our life and that we don't want to lose. It makes us value things very highly. And when we value things very highly, we are very fragile. We don't want to lose those things. Because it will feel like dying. And this person is almost like a person pretending to be alive, but isn't really, because they aren't brave enough to put themselves in a situation of hope, of being able to hope, or being able to have beautiful things in their life. They will say yes, maybe, because they can't say yes, I want you forever and ever, because that will be taking too much water over your head. The kind of it's almost like they feel that they are jinxed if they are hoping too much. And therefore it will be hard to have happy events in your life, because you are always fearful that they are going to end. You can't enjoy them while they are there, because life is like this. It's like a beat with the heart. It's up and down, it's up and down, it's up and down. And it's contrasts. That's why we're here, to have contrasts, so we will know what feels good and what feels bad. And what we want to strive towards and what we want to leave behind. So it's not here to punish us or torment us. It's here to make us see. And this person doesn't want to see. The next card for you is Four of Pentacles. So Four of Pentacles is this what I'm talked about with the comfort zone, building a stability for yourself. When you have reached this far, you might be very satisfied and think like, well, I have a good life, I have this and this and this, and those things are stable. If I'm going to reach for more, I might lose everything, or those things I have built up I might feel like they are worth nothing if there comes even greater things in my life, and that I can't really grasp, because many people are like content with living on their own. This is a person kind of guarding the door to their comfort zone. They don't want to have people in there. They don't want to have people coming really close to them, because in their own home they can have everything really stable, and they don't need to jeopardize things. They don't need to have too much hope. It's just a comfortable place. It's my home. It's my center, where no one can bother me or mess with me or make me hope or make me fail or make me disappointed. So it's a hard time for this person to let someone in and start hoping and start wishing for something better, because they have kind of tried to be happy with what they have. and what's kind of stable. Nothing is stable here in life, but we can have the illusion of stability if we have a comfort zone. And going outside that might be very troublesome for a few people. So having happiness and the chance of true love, maybe, and a really good maybe career or something, but being unwilling to take the chance a little bit is what I see here. And the next card is Six of Cups, and that's a beautiful card about reconciliation and equalness. But for this to happen, you need to let someone into your comfort zone. You need to start connecting on a true soul level. And this is where the hope might be too heavy to bear for some people, like the hope of being connected with someone. To not be alone inside that comfort zone, but actually building like a comfort zone together with other people. Because if they would leave, it will be like losing an arm or like something really important to you, like a body part or a big dream. So sometimes people have a hard time to let a person in because the loss of that person they feel would be more great than they could bear. So for this fear, they don't let people into their lives, and they live half lives. They live a life that's content but not happy. And they are kind of skipping the highs and lows. They just skate on the outside of things like this. Instead of having a connection, they are like, well, it's like one man is an island. And I'm cool like this. I'm bleeding to death in this situation because I don't have the thing that I really need, but I'm secure. And here, I would have happiness. I would share life with someone. I would have bliss. But if this will go away one day, because this is something I can't control. I can control myself, but I can't control others. So if this would go away, I might never be able to live like comfortably in my comfort zone again, because I will miss them forever and ever. So it's a risk to take, to go out and search for happiness. So it's almost seems like one person here is kind of dragged outside the comfort zone, either by a longing for something or someone, or that someone is coming into your life and kind of wants you to connect with you. It might be a relationship from the past, indicated by the Six of Cups. That's kind of the card for reconciliation. It's past life card. It's also childhood card, like when we come down to earth, we need love and connection as much as we need food and water. And if we don't get this, it will be a deep separation within us, and it will make us be like this, very traumatized and very like we can't go deep because the wound is so deep and so hurtful. But this is how we are supposed to be connected, and often small things could make big traumas, like a situation where maybe your mother needs you to take more responsibility for yourself and start to tie your own shoes and put on your jacket for yourself, and because she might have other small children to take care of and things like this. And this might be a separation for you that's very traumatic, and it might be with you your whole life. So after that you won't trust no one else with coming close to you. So we are very fragile, and it can be big traumas making this, or it could be very small traumas, and you might not remember them, but the connection was lost at some point, and you are fearful to get it back and then lose it again. To have it is wonderful, but to lose it again, you have worked so hard to be able to bear the cross of living alone and try to endure, so you don't think that you can survive another hit. This is what I see. And it might not be you. It might be you having this problem with a partner or a child or a family member or whatever. But here comes the Four of Wands, and that's a beautiful card because it's still a four. It's still a comfort zone, but this is like this is like a tower, like the foundation to tower, like something very strict and with thick walls and thick boundaries. And this Four of Wands, it doesn't have any walls. It has foundation, but it's built on trust and togetherness and free will. And it's bonds tied together and flowers, and those people are here on their free will. So those people are sharing their comfort zone together by free will. So this is what I want you to be able to build in your life. It's also self-love, because you can only be in this situation if you love yourself. And this person doesn't love themselves. They just endure. They just try to take themselves through each and every day with a smile on their face. That's not really from the heart. It's just a show. And here you can rejoice in true happiness. But for this to happen, you need to let someone into your comfort zone. And the rules of this kind of relationship, this might be... the rules of this relationship is put by how you want to be treated by others, and you are going to treat others like you yourself want to be treated. So this is a vulnerability. It's like you opening up to other people and letting them into your heart space, but also putting boundaries, like how you want to be treated. So you can't give yourself up like to that extent that you will give up the values that you created here, because there was reason to why you didn't want to let people into your life, because you were afraid of them hurting you. They can still hurt you and love you, but you need to have your values. Like, you can't let someone in just because you want love so dearly. You need to have ground rules for how you want people to behave towards you. And those ground rules needs to be very firm. So you need to be able to voice when people are stepping over your borders. And those borders might change with time and trust, because if you build trust in a relationship, the borders might go away. And for one example, maybe this person, if they are going to let someone in here, they might need to be very secure that the other person is going to respect their alone time, or their need of constant communication. It can be either or something else. And if this rule is kind of valued, or the other person doesn't go against that rule for a very long time, trust is built, and maybe you are able to kind of let them a bit more close, or maybe they don't need to have contact with you so much, because trust has been built. So that's when your boundaries will change as well. So in the beginning, you might be much not so well adapted to be in a relationship, but if there can be love and the trust can be built, and you can be a much better co-creator in the relationship further on. So there needs to be a little patience as well when you go into a new relationship because people, both parties might have problems with trust. And trust needs to be built by people showing a lot of compassion for each other and their fears. So the next line of cards, this is in the past. Here we have the Ten of Swords. And in this context, it's a very good thing, because it means that you have come to the conclusion that your old survival strategies, your old way of thinking, isn't sufficient in this new situation. In this new situation, the old way of thinking needs to go. The old way of thinking might have been that you need to take care of yourself and not let anybody in, and have certain standards and like a wall kind of here. And so the old rules that you might have had has probably kept you from being loved, because you have kept people maybe on an arm's length, so they were never able to come close to you. Or some people are very needy and clingy, so they might have scared people off by being too needy too fast. But when the old thing here goes, there's a chance to start a kind of new pattern with thinking and rules. And because swords is about mind, it's about how you think of things, and it's also about laws and rules and things like this. So it seems like the old way of being is kind of gone here. It might be very painful, and it might be very scary, because between the 7 and the 10, there's a lot of hurt and trauma that needs to be worked through. So when you take this big leap, you will also open up like kind of Pandora's box with a lot of things that you might have tried to kept yourself from seeing. And this is not a dangerous thing, but for a person that's very analytic and have a lot of rules for how to live, so they won't lose their balance, this one might be really scary, and it might be really a new thing. But to be very brave and to face yourself and your fears is going to heal you. So there's nothing dangerous here, really. It's more that you need to be a little brave, like learning to not be afraid of the dark, or learning to go on open spaces when you have a social phobia, or to pet snakes or spiders or whatever, or be able to have a wasp on your hand. So it's those fears I'm talking about, and they are really they are there, they are for real, but they are often connected to some kind of trauma. And when you are able to stay with a wasp in your room without running around screaming, but staying with the fear, that's when you are starting to connect with your trauma, if you are afraid of wasps. So here we have a 6 of Swords, and that's the card you use to kind of come over trauma when it comes to how your mind works, because 6 of Swords is kind of the little scientist within you that can take benefit from past experience and make something good out of it. Like you will be able to understand why a certain thing happened and what good came out of it, even if it was a bad situation, because often the most terrible situation in our lives has given us the most valuable life lesson. Even if it's hard to come to terms with that, that's often how it is. And the people that has been our biggest opponent has also often been our greatest teachers as well. But with the 6 of Swords, you are able to start connect with yourself and the true will that you have in your heart. This kind of sword, the Ace of Swords, your I am, the person that you are deep inside, underneath the traumas, underneath your protection, your survival skills, things like that. And 6 of Swords is kind of when you can be able to start communicating from that heart space, your true will. It's a very big vulnerability in this, and it's also a very great strength, because when you have found that space in your heart where you can open up to truth and see truth, whatever it is, and be able to voice it, that's the true strength, and it will give you a new kind of stability. That's nothing that you could have made with this comfort zone before. And this is like something that you can take with you wherever you go. So you will be comfortable in every situation because you trust yourself and you believe in yourself, and you know what you want and you know what you don't want, and you are voicing it. You are not afraid to tell people anymore, like, this is how I feel, this is how I think. This is what's happening within me when we are talking about this. Truth starts to be voiced. It's a very good card. Both the throat chakra and the heart chakra is involved in this truth talking. And it's problem solving, and this is going to make you see things and move towards calmer waters. So underneath the 4 of Pentacles, we have the High Priest, and she is very much in her comfort zone wherever she is. But that's not because she needs to, she doesn't need to hide away from other people and kind of keeping them on an arm's length. She knows how to deal with people because she's very connected with the moon here. That's her intuition, your heart space. and she has the black and the white, so she doesn't judge herself. She doesn't say, well, you need to be a good girl and always behave nicely towards people. She don't do that to herself. She is like more like this. I feel what I feel through my heart and through my body and through my soul, and this is what I'm going to show on the outside. So if someone coming to this person and being rude, they will be very rudely treated back. And if they come and be very nice, they will probably be very nicely treated and might be let into her garden here to play. So this is you becoming more like you, not playing by any rules like this is how I learned to behave, but you are becoming connected with your intuition and with your soul. So you know in every situation how to deal with things. So you don't need to be afraid about things happening to you, because you will be in the now and you will react in the now from a very true point. And with you reacting straight from your intuition, you will do the exact right thing. It will just come to you, and you don't have to think so much. You just have to be yourself. So not having any tight leashes on yourself anymore. You can trust yourself. You can trust yourself to behave accordingly to the situation. But this needs for you to actually align yourself with yourself and not punish yourself whenever you have talked strongly to someone or done something. You need to see why you did it, and that it might have been necessary. And that you might be a better teacher also for other people when you are in your truth, because they will see immediately, they will do something and they will get a pure reaction to that. And that will be it's like you talking the truth to them and reflecting them back, their behavior back to them very truthfully. So that's you being a very great teacher also to your surrounding. They will know when they are doing right and when they are doing wrong, and you are going to be very safe because you have access to yourself wherever you go, and your comfort zone, and your values and how you want to be treated. And you are not going to play nice just because this is the rules. If someone is rude, you are going to tell them. So it's a better point of existing. Yes, and beautiful. Here underneath the Six of Cups, this reconciliation, we have the card of Lovers. I have seen this in many of the last readings. So love is coming back to us now. It has been doing so since October. Before we had to find ourselves, we had to find this point of existence where we could be in the now and be truthful to ourselves and not play games anymore. And when we don't play games anymore, that's when we can step out of our comfort zone and be in a love relationship and start the work there, because then you really mirror each other and you can learn a lot from this. You can't go into a love relationship and think, well, now we are going to live happily ever after. You can go into a love relationship and think, well, we have decided to be together, so from now on, whatever happens, we will solve it together. That's a very beautiful thing. And then you can be yourself and be loved, and the other person can be themselves and be loved. And you kind of have this common platform with both self-love, love for each other, and a lot of mutual respect. So because this, when you are like this, no one can avoid respecting you, because it's impossible when you are like very connected with yourself like this. This is a 5 of Pentacles, so it shows it's a 5, so it's things that's out of harmony, things that still needs to be worked on, and there seems to be a problem with self-esteem, and am I really welcome? Are they going to steal all my stuff? Sometimes in a love relationship, you can either feel like you're going to be consumed by the relationship, or you are fearing being abandoned in the relationship. And this is the card for that. Those fears that people have to either be swallowed whole or rejected. So this seems to be the thing that you are going to have to work on in this relationship. To actually be brave enough to show your true colors and your fears, and how you fear that the other person is going to steal your stuff in some way, either your dignity or your independence or whatever it is that you are fearful of losing, because this is fear of loss. And it can be fear of losing the other person or fear of losing yourself. It depends where you have your wounds. And it might be a lot of other fears. Sometimes this is fear of getting into a love relationship because you fear that you will lose them. So it might be much better to keep them on an arm's length distance and never ever get close to them, because if they will say one day that, well, I don't love you anymore, that would be very hard to take. So people rather endure loneliness than they take the chance of this ever happening. So it's a bit strange, but it's with the ego to do, because it's with the ego to do, but it's also other things. But just this to have been left, it's kind of putting a mark on you that you are not lovable enough. So there's a lot of these kind of fears that's going to come up in this relationship. Am I worthy of love? And the question is, of course, yes, because you are going to give yourself this love. So no matter if this person is there or not, you're always going to have yourself to come back to. I love myself. This is what I want. I'm not going to give up with this. I'm still going to be open to love. Even if this person is not showing themselves being worthy of me, I will still be open to love. And I love myself, and I love others, and I love myself. So this is a very safety. Whatever happens, you will have this to fall back on. So it's a very good point, center point that you have in this reading, Aquarius. So underneath the Knight of Pentacles, it's a very good card. This is Knight of Pentacles coming underneath the Ten of Swords. And this is a very good thing. It's very beautiful, this thing that's happening here. This was a person trying to skate above things, didn't want to dig deep into their traumas, just wanted to play pretend that they were happy. And this is a person digging deep with their hands in their soil, putting down new seeds for a harvest to come. So this is a person very, very willing to do the work that's taking, because they have something very close to their heart. It's kind of that you have had a mission or goal or a dream that just doesn't want to go away. It's still there. Whatever you do, it's still there. You still long for this person. You still long for this adventure. You still long for doing this kind of creative thing. It can be music or whatever. Something that wants to come through you down to earth. You still ride a black horse, and that's kind of those traumas that you are having with you from this. But you are riding it. So that means that you are now able to express your shadowy being, those things that you have been so afraid of. They are ready to come out in the sunlight here. And riding a black horse is, of course, something that's very... it can be a bit fearful, like a bit frightening, because this is emotions that you have kept in the dark for a long time, and you haven't let them come to the surface because you feared that something would happen. And now, when you have taken those feelings forward, they have a lot of needs. They have a lot of expectation of their lives. There could be different longings that you might have kept in chest by maybe overindulging food, or it can be alcohol, drugs, constant partying, being alone, separated from other people, whatever you do to kind of keep those feelings locked in. But now they are free here. But they are still a black horse, so they are still unknown. But this is a time for you to start knowing them, start seeing them. So be very patient with yourself. And if this is your partner, be very patient with them. They are new at this. They are new at try to trust you, try to trust this situation. It's like a little bird for the first time flying out of their nest. They haven't tried their wings, the wings being this black horse. So be very patient, both with yourself and others in this situation. It's a very beautiful willingness. Like they want to show themselves trustworthy. They weren't really trustworthy. This is kind of the thief of the situation, the person that will steal your stuff and then run away and say, haha, I was the one that won this love relationship. But this person has now changed into a person that say, yes, okay, I want to do this. I want to face my fears. I love you so much, or I want to be a musician, or I want to be yes, I want to build my dreams, the dreams that I have so close to my heart, and I will do it, whatever it takes. So it's a willingness, but it's lots of things that's still unknown, things that you don't know about yourself, and is now in need of excavation. And here you have the Magician, and that's very closely related with the planet Mercury. That's for communication around the sun, so truthful communication. And it comes underneath the Six of Swords and the Ten of Cups. So for me, it seems like you love something or someone, and you need to express this. And it's coming straight from the heart here with this Six of Swords as well. So this person is going to try to build their dreams. Okay, you know, remember they didn't want to have hope. Now they have hope. So that's a good thing. They believe in themselves. They believe that they can make it. They believe that they can have this thing, what they want. Maybe have their needs met, all those needs that they suppressed. They are dreaming of having those needs met, and they are taking steps towards this happening. So this is a grand opening from being very fearful, not being able to hope, to actually start being a creator of your dreams. It's kind of a big step here. So the next card is, of course, the Ace of Wands, and it's the tool that the Magician has start using here, their willpower, the thing that they dreamt of. They want to have it. They want to have it. They can choose also chalices, swords, and pentacles here, and they have choose the wand, the willpower, and it's a butterfly here symbolizing death and metamorphosis. It's kind of this old thing going, and this new black horse. Start using your unknown capacity or creativity, or your unknown talents, or your unknown personality, something that you haven't been using before because you were fearful. Someone might have said sometimes that don't be so loud with your voice. So from that time on, you were always like talking very nicely, and now you might be able to use your voice in a more strong way. For example, I'm just saying one example. And the Ace of Wands is coming here through this, from being in the comfort zone, not wanting to take risk, and being able to be very in your intuition and in your soul contact, and using this willpower. So that's also a very big change from one situation to another. This is very much brave. It's like instead of staying in the seed, you are now growing towards the sun with this, like a new growth. And here comes the famous Eight of Swords that I talked about earlier. And this is when you kind of relapse a little bit in what has been. You still have these mental ideas. They haven't really gone away like fully. Eight of Swords is you're going to relapse into the same kind of behavior again, where you kind of blindfolded yourself. You don't want to see, you don't want to feel. You have all those things like how you have learned that you need to behave. And this is a prison that you have made for yourself that's keeping you from the thing that you want. So this is something that you need to break free from. Old behaviors, old patterns, old way of being. You might have found out like a really good way of putting other people down, for example. Just one word and you feel like you have the power over them. And this might be a thing that has like kind of fed your ego. But now those things needs to go, because they are keeping you from this love situation, because no one wants to be loved by a person, putting them down or saying awful things. So the old power that you had from this situation is not giving you any power anymore. It will just give you a slap in the face. And the same thing is if you are being rude to yourself in this matter, like kind of putting yourself down, it's going to come back and haunt you. You see the castle is just there on the other side of the shore, but you can't see it. So it's like you have already reached goal. You're already at the place that you were supposed to be, but you can't see it. You can't really love it because you have blindfolded yourself. So there's still patterns, projections, things that need to go, that need to be washed away. But as I said with this, it's a black horse, still things that's kind of in the way, that's kind of in the dark, in the shadows. A blindfold here, darkness there. So be patient. Some things will resolve itself with time. And if you can be very truthful to another person and they can be very truthful to you, you will mirror yourself back and forth. Very great. So you both are going to be able to take new steps, like baby steps, learn new things. Doesn't have to go by their old patterns or old rules of behavior. And the next card is Two of Cups. So love is still the solution. To connect with others is the solution. Staying in your comfort zone, enduring life. Of course, you can do this. But this is what the heaven wants for you. To connect with others and risk risk being left for the fortune of being happy. Like living your full life, crying all your tears, laughing all your laughter, and being able to connect with other people and mirror yourself, and therefore growing like a person. So beautiful. I will take some cards for you from the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. See if we can get some additional guidance. We have the Desert Prince here and the World Lord, and they are very much the same. It's like a person being very sure of themselves. They can survive on themselves. They are so smart and so brilliant and so analytic, and so they know everything, and they are book smart. They can communicate. They can charm people. They can, yeah, it's kind of this narcissistic personality that we have here, like a person being very very smart and like street smart, and they are very watchful. They see other people, see their movement, learn their behavior, so they can kind of use their weakness against them. So a lot of things is about this personality, and it's a personality that's kind of has seen its glorious days already, and now it's slowly going down the drain. So this is survival, false promises, communication, praise, dishonesty. So you need to watch yourself, that you are being like really honest, and that you might have like survival skills that making you feel above other people, because you are smart, because you have reached a certain point, because yeah, you see things that the other stupid people doesn't see, and this is only keeping you away from your paradise, because this is a mental structure that has kept you separated from other people, and we want you to step down and into a love relationship instead, and this is being able to connect on an equal level, and that requires trust, because why you have done this, being this smart, is because you didn't trust anyone. So trust is the first step. You need to find a person that you can be able to start building trust together with, or learn trust together with. Okay. For some of you, it might be also adventure or writing a book. So you can see whatever you see in those cards. You don't need to listen to my bladder all the time. Sometimes you will know exactly when you see the card, you will know. And I will say something different, but you trust yourself. So, past life oracle card. Asian angels. Yes, okay, this is another part of this. This is more like a spiritual growth and being guided. So on the one hand, you are the desert prince and the world lord, like being superior. On the other hand, you are guided by the divine and have a deep connection. So maybe this is the road you need to follow, like be more open to your subconscious, and then you trust your brain or your mental capacity, because this is the doorway, I think, to richer experiences. And you are being very guided, and you also have the High Priestess here in the middle. That's a very good card for spiritual enlightenment. And yes, it seems very, very good. This is another part on your spiritual journey to do this. Okay. So I hope this helped, and next time you will be seeing me, I will be talking about 2017. So I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So take really good care. Bye bye.